against sexism was when he was at the hospital, and it's on page 185, where the nurse is more talking to Mitch, Sam's dad, than he's actually talking to Sam. So he's kind of telling Mitch what he should do, kind of keep it clean and stuff, even though the nurse knows that Sam is the father. So she just doesn't have much trust in him and doesn't have faith that he can handle Max very well.
Another time is on page 117. It's when they're at the mall, and Claire and Sam are kind of struggling when they're eating, and the mom just kind of like wants to help them because they don't really see that that they're parents and that like they're mature enough to know what they're doing.
Yeah, another example is on page 24, when school security gives Sam a hard time when the buzzer went off, and they thought that maybe Max's crib could have been like a weapon because it set off the detector off.
I said for ageism, on page 177, the doctor is kind of assuming that Andy is Max's brother, and he also asks for Max's parents when Sam is right there, and so he kind of thinks that like they're too young to be Max's parent. And then also when the doctor is just talking to Sam's dad instead of Sam himself about like what to do with Max's cut, and so it's kind of like this doctor doesn't trust Sam as much as his dad would because his dad's kind of older and wiser.
I do think Sam is treated unfairly throughout the novel, sexism and ageism both, but I also think that Sam kind of exaggerates it all in his head a lot more than he should. Like, for example, on page 118, Claire, Sam is obviously, like, very, this is when Claire and Sam are at the mall, and Sam is very, like, obviously upset about, like, asking for help and asking for directions, and Claire's like, why? Like, who cares? And that just shows that Sam is, like, very, very self-conscious about, like, being a teen dad.
That was kind of like, I don't know where in the book, but it was a flashback to when Sam was going in the hospital first to see when it was Julian. Like, he was too embarrassed to ask for directions to the room. So, yeah, kind of like what Riley said, he's embarrassed of being a teen dad.
I said that I don't think it's justified because I don't think there should be any like stereotypes or any discrimination against teen dads. And I said on page 6, when Mrs. McPherson says we'd about given up on you, I don't think that she would have said that to any of the teen moms in like that alternative school, only just Sam because he's like her dad. I think it made him feel bad that they didn't expect him to show up to pick up his kid.
To counter that, I think that, well, like she said, we all think that teen dads shouldn't be discriminated against, etc. Yet it's kind of like the way that society thinks, and it doesn't really matter really what it actually is, like how it actually should be. It only matters how we think. So just a few of us are like, oh no, that shouldn't happen. But we also have to look at like the other like majority of the world who actually do discriminate against teen dads.
Yeah, like going off on that, like can you imagine any of the guys in this room like raising a baby on this by themselves? Like we read the book and we think, oh, that's not that unnormal, but it is like unnormal. Like I can imagine anyone in this class raising a baby by themselves.
Yeah, like on page 25, one of the nurses, or not nurse, but like the crib people, I don't know, nursery ladies, was like, does he have an ear infection? Like, guys, I mean, honestly, if your kid had an ear infection, would you even know? You know, so I guess it is kind of stereotypical, but at the same time, it's just how society thinks, how we all
Yeah,
think.
like they kind of all the people in the nursery, like the moms in there and the nursery people, they're all like what you said, is like, do they have an ear infection, or like, why is he crying? They're all trying to think of ways of why Max is crying, like expecting that Sam is kind of just like the dumb father who doesn't know like what he's doing. So
I feel like they never really give him a chance, like the girls at school. Claire was the only one that kind of understood.
yeah.
That kind of understood
go through the security check-in, whatever you call that, and he just said go right on through, and I think that really emphasized that, like, the girls can easily go through, and they don't expect girls to, like, carry any dangerous weapons or any,
Yeah.
like, they had any problems going through, but just Sam did.
I think bottom line, it comes down to like judgment, because with ageism and sexism, it's usually not what that person did, but how that offender feels and how they're judging that person. And some people let that judgment get to them too much, so that they treat them differently, when the right thing would be to do is to keep that judgment to yourself and not treat those people differently. So I don't think it's justified.
I kind of think that
behavior.
people naturally judge teen parents though, because they probably made poor decisions to become teen parents, you know, so people kind of think, oh, like they made bad choices, so they're probably not a good parent.
Yeah, another example of the sexism is like on page 179 when they're at the hospital, and then the nurse doesn't let Max or Sam go back and see Max. But like when the mom comes in with the kid, after she's like helped, she goes back and she like sees him. So she like let the mom through, but not Sam. So that's kind of like sexist.
I think another part of that could be like ageism, but I don't think it really said how old the mom was, but I would assume she'd be older, and so like they would kind of let her go back because she's older too. Like I think if it was a dad who was like older than Sam, like 30s or something, they would probably let an older parent go through.
Yeah, because, I mean, Sam isn't, I don't even think Sam's an adult, so.
Yeah,
It's different.
they kind of like know more of what's going on and don't want the like kid parent to get in the way, I guess.
Another example is when Sam is like, treated differently is on page 164. It's like when he and Claire were going to the party, they, like Andy and the rest of them couldn't believe how much stuff he was bringing into the party, like to take care of the kids. I think that just like shows like he was kind of being treated differently because they couldn't believe like how much goes into actually raising a baby, and they just didn't understand that. Whereas Sam kind of, I mean, he's learning as time goes on, but that's just another like where they were treating him differently because they couldn't believe how much things go into raising a baby.
Should we go on to the next one?
Yes.
How long has it been?
It's been 8 minutes.
Does anyone have anything else?
Yes, I have one more. In page 25, Sam is treated dumb by nursing staff. And they just think of him as not fit, cut out to be a parent. But in reality, he was towards the end. All right, let's do 2.
Wait, I have one more thing for the first one. On page 190, the girls are the ones who make the dinner at Andy's house when he gets people over, so that's another kind of thing of sexism, that the girls were making the dinner.
Yeah, and the guys were playing basketball.
Yeah.
Well, I remember reading that the girls were like, come on, let's go outside and play basketball.
Yeah, at one point. And then he's like, should I take Emily so you can like?
Yeah.
He was thinking about that or something like that.
Yeah.